What is up, guys?
Dear Lord.
Okay. Should I use that or not?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Put this conversation in there too.
might might as well. So this is the new BukkitRequests channel, basically on here. Obviously this is not a request because we didn't have any requests. So we're just gonna do whatever the hell we want for this first video, but then you will put in the comments what you want us to code. So yeah, we're basically gonna show tutorials, we being me and Epic, tutorials on how to code whatever you guys want. Well, maybe not whatever, but if it's reasonable and can fit it into a video of like around 15 minutes or less, probably, we will do it. So don't be asking for Mindplex plugins and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully our tutorials will help you get to the level where you can make your own Mindplex tutorials. So tutorials, plugins. So yeah, this first episode will be explaining your main class, which should we have it in the description? It'll probably be there.
We should.
So like this exact thing will be copied. We're not gonna explain how to like set everything up because there's like millions of tutorials of this on YouTube. So if you just look up how to set up a project in Eclipse, or probably Eclipse will be better because this is what I'm using and it'll be easier to follow along, everything will be the same. So yeah, once you get basically this window set up, you can carry on watching and we're just going to explain what everything's doing. We could do it line by line. Do you want to do that?
I guess, why not?
Alright, so line 1 is basically declaring the package that we're using. So it auto fills it for you pretty much, so you don't need to really worry about that. All of these bits are just imports. How would I just...
They make references to the classes that you're going to be using in here.
Pretty much, because Java's kind of resource friendly, I guess, and instead of importing everything that you could ever possibly need, it's efficient and only uses what you need. So is that right? I'm guessing. I don't really know, to be honest. I think that's it though.
I don't know, let's pretend that we're right and we'll go on.
Let's pretend that's right. So this bit right here. Also, if you're wondering, me and Epic are like both in here, so we can type whatever we want. So yeah, we're both in here. Epic. You can't spell your own name. Whatever.
No.
I guess yeah. Let's just carry on. So this line here is this bit here will autofill itself, and pretty much every Bukkit plugin you will add extends Java plugin and implements listener. You don't really need to know what it means, just do it and it will work. But basically this lets you use Java plugins methods, I think, right? And
Yep.
this, I don't know what implements means. This is making us sound kind of stupid, but do you know what implements listener does?
Implements listener, it like whenever something happens, it'll go through your plugin to see if like you have a listener for it, and if it does, then it'll do whatever you have in there.
Basically what he said. So you don't really need to know what it does, just type it. So and it's already typed for you in the description, you can just copy and paste it. So then we get to the, I guess we'll do this in a block because you can consider it as a block. This is a method. It's public, so any error can access it. Void, you can't I don't know if we should be like explain. Yeah, I don't know if we should really like explain every single thing at this point, but basically when like I could type on enable, maybe not here, but okay. Yeah, you could basically, when the plugin loads, it runs whatever is in the on enable, so whatever is in these two brackets will run when the server starts up, and same with the on disable, but obviously when it disables. So when you get into more advanced stuff, you can put stuff in here that will happen later, so it's useful for that kind of stuff. But we won't be getting into that just yet. This episode, definitely not. So, yeah. And this line again, don't really need to know what it does, and just type it, and it just basically lets the plugin know that there are listeners and events in this class, right?
Yes.
And we don't need anything in the on disable because we don't need anything in there, but just include it, just so you have it there. So that's pretty much this area dealt with, and as you can see, we've commented it out. Oh, Epic's writing something. Makes a comment, right? Yeah. If you want to do, sorry, I'll finish that for you. If you want to comment something out, anything with 2 slashes before it won't be actually executed in code, so I could like do that and it won't affect any of the code, so it's fine to have it like this. So yeah, we've commented.
There is like a reminder.
Yeah, it's basically like a note to yourself. So everything in between these 2 big lines are command related things. So this method here, this is just like this, but it's slightly different because instead of a void where it returns nothing, it returns a boolean, which is a true or false statement, and it has different parameters inside of it, which again you don't really know, but just how to use them, I guess. So we have how would I explain this? You have like a class name and then the name of like the variable for the class name. So we've got the command sender, which is obviously the person that sent the command, and they are like basically named to sender. So later on in this method, so anything inside of here, we have sender, and we're basically this instance of is basically saying is, so we're checking if the sender is a player. So that's just basically how you use the method on command, and everything inside of here will basically be command related things, which we'll show soon. And yeah, so in here is where we have the listeners, and this is slightly more complicated than the commands, I guess. And I guess we'll get onto that after. Should we show some command stuff now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how to start this off. Do you wanna try?
Okay, so now that we checked that if the player is if the sender is a player, now we want to cast the sender to a player. So we'll type player p equals, and then in parentheses player, and then sender. This player right here says that we're gonna what's the word, cast the sender to a player, so that way it recognizes it as a player, and this is just stating the player, otherwise known as P. So then we could hit P dot, and then it'll give us a bunch of these options in Eclipse, and we can do a lot of things from here actually.
Yeah. So like the player class has a ton of things, so we probably won't use half of these things. But for instance, let me just find something that would be used. P.get location. So right here, this will get their location. So you could do like p.get location dot get, and then you could do like get x, and that will return a number of their x coordinate. So if you ever need to check anything to do with that, then it's basically just lots of ways to get information about the player. And instead of doing sender dot actually we can't do it because it's not actually a player, but can we cast it to player, and then
Yeah, we could, but it'd be a lot easier to just cast it like right here like I did.
yeah, so we just make an actual variable for it, so you can just use p instead of doing the sender with the casting and everything. This basically just means because the sender could not be a player, it could be from the console, so like you could be typing something in here. I'll just move that away. So it could not be a player, so you have to cast it. Casting is basically putting in brackets and the name of the class. So we've got player, and we've referred to it as a p, so you can do p and then all the methods. So we've got the player p, and then we could do we'll check for like, this is how you check what the actual command was. So I've got it set up as label. This right here is what they type in the onCommand method, the string label. A string is a string of letters, I guess. So like string is equal to hello. That is a string. It's basically just a word of letters and numbers or whatever you want. Yeah, so we could check if the label, I can't spell, label, and then if you do a dot, you've got all the methods for a string. So we're going to use equals ignore case, and then we'll put a string in here. So if their label equals ignore case test, this will basically, everything inside of here will run if they type /test. It doesn't have to be capitals, it could be /test because of the equals ignore case. But if you actually wanted it to be case sensitive, you just do case if label equals test, and that will only work if it's exactly how it is here. So if they type /test, it will work, but /test won't work like that. So we'll just leave it as equals ignore case because that's how you would normally do it for a regular command. Otherwise people would be like, what if they type it with a capital? So if they type /test, then we could use what we used up here, p dot, and we'll use send message, which is going to be used quite a lot in coding Bukkit plugins. P dot send message, and then you just put a string in here. So hello, and then I guess we could do it like this, plus the player's name, p dot get name. So that will basically send them a message saying hello plus their name. And if you could do a comma. Make sure to leave a space here because this will return a string without a space. So it would look like hello George HD if you didn't put the space. Otherwise it would look normal like that if you put the space. So I guess I'll save this and export it, and I'll see you. Actually, I don't need plugin.yml. This will also be in the description, I guess. You just need to have 2 spaces between the between the command name and then a comma. What is that? A colon or a semi? No, that's a colon, not a semicolon. That's a colon, and then 4 spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're messing something up. 1, 2, 3, 4. No tabs allowed, otherwise it will mess it up. And you have to have your package name here plus dot whatever your main class is. So this is our main class. It's called main. So we just do dot main, and that could be another command here. I'm just gonna do it like that, so it's you can see it easier with the spacing. Can you actually? Are you allowed to do it like that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I'll just close it because I know it works like that. So we could have a command called more commands. Should we do that? We'll do another command. So
yeah, we'll do another command. You
can just do it outside of here. If label again dot equals ignore case. What was it? More commands?
Yeah. More
command or commands? Let's check. Commands. So if they type more commands, then what could we do? P dot. Let's have a look. P dot. You know what? We can do P dot set health 0. 0.0. So this will basically kill them. And so yeah, I will export this. Export jar file. Make sure to have all this ticked. I think that's the right thing to do. And just finish. And here we are in game. Reload. Let's hope it worked. So our commands were /test. It should say hello George HD. There it is.
Hello Epic Pie 11 for me.
Yeah, it would say hello Epic Pie for him if he typed it. And more commands /more commands should kill me. And there it is. So oh, hello village. So that's pretty much the first episode, I guess, unless you want to add anything else to say.
I think we've covered all the bases.
So yeah, you can kind of work it out for yourself if you just press P dot, and well, some of them you won't be able to work out. Well, you might be able to, but like lots of them are kind of simple. For example, if I just do this, I'll do it in the test command p.chat. And also, I'll show you something quickly. If you go into your properties of your project, these villagers are annoying. 1 second, let me move over here. Shut up, villagers. So if you go into, where is it? I'm not able to remember. Somewhere around here. Java doc location, and there'll be a link in the description. For some reason, it's not here, but basically, it will allow you to, when you hover over a method, it will tell you what it does. So it says says a message. I'm not sure if is that right? Says a message? Says a message? I don't know if that's right. Whatever. Probably is right. It says a message or runs a command. So basically, whatever you put as a string in the parameters, it will make that player type it for them. So we can make it say, hello world. So if I export this again and reload, and if I type /test, I should type in what in chat? Hello world, and it will also tell us hello George. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So if you wanna, I guess, practice by looking through the different methods, you could look at that and make sure to leave a request for what you want in the next episode. And yeah, I guess we will see you next time. Any last words, Epic?
Bye.